That's the sound of Brock's jelly beans being poured into a candy bowl.
Oops.
And the sound of hosting your first family brunch. Listen to the sweet sonic musings of Brock's jelly beans swirling in your sister's favorite candy bowl. Well, second favorite. But thanks to these delicious, beloved beans, she'll never know it's a replacement, or that you and your cousin broke it trying to decorate a cake. Brock's. Make moments sweeter. Click or tap the banner to shop now.
This is the sound of a person not doing their taxes. It's the sound of someone who let a TurboTax expert do their taxes for them and is now trying their hand at a Swedish recipe called kanalkanuta. Maybe one day they'll open a kanalkanuta bakery. This is the sound of possibility. Come to TurboTax and don't do your taxes. Meet with an expert who will do them for you so you can do not taxes. 100% expert guaranteed. Full service products only. Video meeting while expert does your taxes required. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees.
Moment I wake up, before I put on my makeup, I say a little prayer for you. And while combing my hair now, and wondering what dress to wear now, I say a little prayer for you. Forever, you stay in my heart, and I will love you forever,
Baby, this is what you came for. Lightning strikes every time she moves, and everybody's watching her, but she's looking at you.
Take a seat in
just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere. Just a city boy, born and raised in South Detroit. He took the midnight train going anywhere. A singer in a smoky room, the smell of wine and cheap perfume. For a smile they can share the night. It goes on and on and on and on. Strangers waiting up and down the boulevard. Their shadows searching in the night. Streetlights, people living just to find emotion. High stop believing. Hold on. Streetlights, people. Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Streetlight, people.
Okay. That could be part of the, that could be part of the thing. It's part of the stuff. It could be, I know. I mean, now I'm like totally like going like this, going like staring down. All right, good morning, you guys. If you haven't got grab lunch.
Okay, so I recruit some people, we're gonna live it up, okay, we're good.
We're good, we're
And
good,
Sharon,
we're good.
it's
We're getting,
not right yet.
no, okay.
We'll just wait on him, let me get my phone to make sure.
All right, everybody gonna grab lunch? Gonna grab lunch? I don't, we have like the Zoom in? Yes. Okay. Awesome, awesome, awesome. You guys here? For lunch? Okay, can y'all believe end of Q1 has already happened? I know, right? That's the thing that's so scary. Let me tell you a little bit about that. Come on, grab some lunch. She's back in spades for sure. I said you're back. Still, I wonder how he is. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
All right. Go grab some lunch. I will start it in a minute.
It's pretty great.
All right. Okay. Are we ready?
Let's just.
All right. we're good.
We are rolling, people, this is gonna be fun, let's have some fun today.
Okay, because I have, because you know what, it's Easter, so we have Easter egg prizes. And they're prizes because some things may be filled with chocolate, some things not. Okay?
But we're gonna do gratitude, but let me see, let me tell them why gratitude's important.
Okay, go
Okay.
ahead, go ahead. Well, I always start with gratitude.
Okay, so we start with gratitude every time, right? So there are 5 good reasons why gratitude is good. This is all scientifically proven, and it was posted in the Huffington Post. Grateful people are happier. It has been proven that if you are grateful, right, you're gonna have a better attitude. Number 2, grateful people sleep better. If you have a bedtime practice of gratefulness, it actually really primes your brain to just go to sleep faster and just dwell on those things at night. Number 3, grateful people have better health and well-being. If you are wondering about that and you've ever watched that experiment of his name is Emoto, he's a Japanese scientist, and he talked over water. Bowl used to have it. Have you been to Bowl? 70% of your body is water. So if you're speaking good things, your health will improve, right? Think about that and watch that experiment I suggested. Number 4, grateful people have better relationships. And number 5, grateful people are more resilient. Okay, that's all my contribution for the.
I know, I have to share gratitude. So I was not used to this. I don't know if you all know this, but leadership.
Hi, welcome.
Come on in. Thanks so much. Leadership meets every morning. We review numbers every single morning, okay? And since he's smiling, because she knows exactly what I'm saying, the first thing that we have to answer for is what are you grateful for? And I'll tell you something. Sometimes I come to those morning huddles because it's like, ugh, sometimes my numbers are not what I want it to be. And I sit there and I'm at a certain place. The moment it is demanded of me to say something, to share gratitude, I have to dig deep and share what I'm grateful for. And it does, honest to goodness, it makes you dig deep and you're grateful and you are coming from, it is impossible to come from a place of negativity when you are coming from a place of grateful. Gratitude. All right. So who wants to share some gratitude? Because we do it at every team meeting, right? I want to share. I'm gonna pelt you with an egg if you do it.
That's right. Oh, okay.
Okay, go.
I just had a closing one of the most difficult transactions.
Wow.
Oh, on so many levels, but it was a repeat and probably my fourth transaction. So I'm grateful for the opportunity to walk people through challenging situations and grateful that people have me back to help them again.
Right. Be grateful. I mean, right now, we're grateful for every, be grateful for every real estate transaction that we have today, right? Okay.
Let's see what you got.
I'm catching it. Anybody else want to share something? they're grateful
Oh, well, that's always good.
for? Some have something?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
all right.
First off, I want to say that I'm grateful for joining such a great team. And I'm grateful this morning. I spoke with one of my friends from a long time ago, and she's going to invite me back to you.
That's right. All right, let's see what you got.
Anybody
Nicole.
else?
Some chocolates and stuff there.
Anybody
Okay.
else?
There's some
One
good
more
stuff in
gratitude,
there.
one more gratitude, one more gratitude.
Yes.
We're gonna do both. Okay, let's go.
I'm grateful that my daughter got influenced.
No, that's a tiger. So you'll be wearing a lot of orange, is that right? And those tiger paws are gonna be everywhere? Are you doing the tiger paw tattoo anywhere that?
No, nope, not doing that. Nope, nope.
Okay, that's an awesome school. Well, congratulations. I always say congratulations to the parents when your kid gets to that point, it's just as much your win as theirs, right?
Did you give him a net?
No egg for you?
Did you get
Okay.
There you go, there you go.
Well, one more. I'm thankful and grateful for coming here and joining all of you, meeting all of you, working with you. I love the positive vibes and attitude. I like the teamwork, the people mentality and supportiveness of everyone having success. And I'm so lucky that I chose here. I'm so grateful for this because this is the next phase of my life and I'm really thankful to be here doing that.
Awesome.
Thank you for sharing. All right, great. Thank you very much. Okay, oh, wait, so we just gave away $1,000. I am. Right, okay. I'm gonna do that every time. All right, we would love to hear from our alliance partner, Children Mortgage, as well as our lunch sponsor for today. Thank you.
Facts today.
That's usually the case. when you've been
Sometimes we
partners
do
for
the
10
same
years.
thing.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank you, guys. We're gonna stay on theme. How about that?
okay.
We're grateful to be a part of this amazing office. Kathy's pretty much a part of the furniture. She's been here with love, and I've had the pleasure, and I'm grateful for our partnership. We've been together almost over 10 years now.
Over 10
Wow. It's a long time, but we're also gonna stay on theme because we have some little Easter. So let's have a little fun. Let's talk about seller allowable contribution. So raise your hands and Kathy will pick whoever raises their hand first. Does anybody know if you put 3% down on a conventional loan, what is the max seller contribution? What is that percentage? Anyone want to take a stab at it? You're correct, 3%. So it's seller allowable contribution is capped out at 3%
Of the sales price.
of the sales price.
If they can use it, you always gotta make sure the
Yes.
buyer can use it.
Okay, what if they put 10% down? What is that percentage on a conventional loan? 4. A little bit more, anyone else? Percentage. 5.
Yeah, y'all gonna keep guessing.
What did you say?
10%.
10% down on
6%.
6%. All right, and then FHA, what is the max percentage?
Secret, top secret.
A little bit higher. Are you ready? What do you say? 6%. There you go. Right. All right, and what if they do a VA? And you want to get credit from the seller, what's the max?
4.
Yes.
Let's say conventional.
I have it. I haven't handed it out. And then last, I just want to hand it out because I want to have a little fun. And what if they're doing a jumbo loan? That's your loans over 726,201. What's that percentage? Anyone want to take a stab at it? Little lower.
5.
Lower. Lower. But I'm gonna hand this out, okay, but let's talk about real quickly seller allowable contributions, because we're in this market. And depending on the home, if you've got a motivated seller, there's a possibility that you can negotiate this, right? We understand that. So it cannot exceed the max percentage, but it also cannot exceed your actual closing costs, your prepaids for your taxes and your insurance. So we're talking about your escrow account, and then also you have to keep in mind cost of repairs. So if you guys negotiate the max up front and then you end up doing an amendment to address concerns and want to ask for additional, you need to circle back with the loan officer to make sure there's still room in there, because cost of repairs are included in there as well. So I have this for you guys. Looks like we need it. No. Any questions, you guys?
Don't go ahead to the next one. No, okay, we'll send it back out. There was a link that I sent. There was a separate link on that.
That is a portion of it too.
Okay, I wouldn't-
Again, temporary refining.
Yeah, we'll make sure that was.
And it's the.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Right, we'll do it next. So shelter 6 will come out, you'll see that. Rates are very volatile right now. You're gonna see in the mid to high 6s on rates for most people unless they're gonna buy it down. Nationally, they're saying that we will see a decrease in rates by the end of the year and a decrease in property values. But again, that's nationally for those property values. And we know that we're in a different pocket because we're definitely, you know, in a competitive market more than most of the country. We're going to send a link out with the email, and you can actually go on and get the Apple app. It's going to give you the information that you need daily, or if you want to know the mortgage news, it's called Mortgage News Daily. You can upload that app. It's going to give you the rates. There are good average rates to watch, and it actually has really good information on what's going on in the mortgage market if you're interested. You can do calculators on it, but it's a free app that you can.
Thank you.
Mortgage.
So let's say they get you like a national average. What do things like the margin here? There's a lot of other things that-
On the rate? Well, the rates are all over the board because you've got brokers, you've got banks, you've got credit unions, you've got direct lenders like us. And everyone sets their margins on their company's profit or loss up. Like if you go to Rocket Mortgage, they're going to try to charge that borrower, whether it's good for them or not, at least a 1% origination fee, because they want to make the money up front. They're making that income up front. If that customer pays off early, they still made their net profit. So every lender is different. This is a good national average. Again, what is their credit score? What is their down payment? How long do they need to lock in for? And who's the lender and what is the lender offering that day? But if you want to keep up with a general average of what the rate's doing, this is what I look at every day. And this is what I read every day. And again, you can take as much out of it as you want. You can use it for
for your reels. It's a lot of good information, and you can actually has calculators on there. It's a good little app.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Ms. Kathy.
What was the name of the app again?
I'm sorry, does someone have a
Mortgage
question?
News Daily. We'll have the link when everything is sent out. They've got the link that you can link to it, or you can just go Mortgage News Daily on the Apple app and upload it.
Okay,
Mortgage
great. So it's
News
gonna
Daily.
be in the recap that Alexia and Raven sent out after the meeting, okay? Next we have Kevin from McKelly and Sorahan.
All
Go,
right,
Kevin.
thank you, Mr.
Grateful.
Well, it's nice to meet everybody. I'm filling in for Kern's usual spot here. She's spring breaking it. But I'm out of the Kennesaw office with both Kelly and Sorahan. And looking to have, hopefully by the end of the year, an office closer to here. So we're looking to do like a Roswell kind of East Cobb office by the end of the year, and I would have that one. So looking forward to that. Keep getting busy and getting more busy, and we'll get there. So on that note, I really don't have a lot to say. Kern just kind of said, talk for a couple minutes on what you see going on in the market right now. And we're seeing an uptick in business, maybe not spring break week, but the rest of the time we have. And we're also seeing a lot of orders coming in that are closing 2 weeks, which is fine. We're happy to take those. But with having been slow before and now picking up, a lot of our resources like the title exam companies and the surveyors and whoever it might be, they cut down. And now that we're building back up, they're a little slow time to get things back as well. So we're having a hard time with our resources getting things back. So really for us, it would be really helpful if don't wait for due diligence, right? If you get a contract, send it in. We're going to start working. If it falls apart, we're happy to get that process started. At least it buys us the time we need in case we do find anything. And then if you do get in, just talk to if you know what's going on a little bit with the home, talk to your pre-closer, talk to me, talk to an attorney, just up front instead of waiting for title to come in and tell us what's going on. If you say what's happening, we can go ahead and tell you right away, 99% of the time in this scenario, here's what I'm going to need. We can go and get the seller or the buyer working on it and help out with that. So really just that, try to get things in as early as you can, give us as much time as possible, but keep them coming 2 weeks, 1 week, whatever, we'll make it work.
Thank you. Oh, sorry. Okay. All right, so our other alliance partners, we do not have Kelly here or Michael Harris. You've got home warranty. And as well as Michael Harris and Georgia Natural Gas, that code where your clients can get you a discount and you don't have to do anything. So that's super awesome value you can provide your client.
And I
Click,
think
click,
on
click.
that, just
Sure.
ignoring it, you get a gift card.
Say it again.
You get a gift card from.
Oh,
uh,
from Michael, thank you. Okay, so these are all the tools that you have to help you in your business. We've got Keep Please, Keller Offers, Keller Concierge. Anybody have any questions on what some of these are? New people, I'm sure you all do. Keller Concierge, Keller Covered, Earnest, Bank Shot, the RoswellTraining.com. This was a new one. Everybody did not know that we do have those classes. If you go to the kwroswell.com, you log in as an agent. Everything that's been recorded is available to you that's there. Okay, I was shocked to see how much was on there. Because it kept scrolling, right?
Real quick on the KW Roswell training, if you guys create an account and it might show you do not have access to this video, email either Raven or I, and we'll give you access. We have to do it on the back end. So if you create an account and you can't see the videos, just email us, let us know, and we'll get you guys into the website.
Awesome. Okay, great. And Porch.com. I know a lot of agents are using Key Please. This is great feature service, I guess, for agents that are more busy and agents that are less busy to take advantage of and make some extra money. And it's also good practice too. And I don't know about anybody else, but I am like sweating out here.
It is fun.
Not a hot sweat.
That was a little worried.
Good, like experiences that you've had using some of these tools that you want to share with the group? Crystal.
Please, when I first came aboard, because not being from Georgia, not knowing the areas, not having any business was really beneficial because we know that when a sign goes up that says just listed, you know, there's a benefit if you're the first person to contact the neighbor and let them know about that information. There's something about keeping up with the Joneses that once one sign goes up, we know within 7 to 10 days, there's gonna be another sign. So Keep Please was instrumental for me because it helped me get to know the area. And it also put me in the neighborhood to not.
I brought it down to
To the left, to the right, to the left, to the front. So it was, it covered multiple things, plus I got paid to do it, so it was a win-win.
That's awesome. Thank you. You get to take an A, even though they. But you missed $1,000.
All right.
Also great guys, people this week that are on break, or on vacation, and all of a sudden buyer that is dormant for months has to see it out. You can log in, please, I need someone to show this property this time, here are the people, and it's just an easy way for you to continue to work your business and also have a little downtime. And I will say, can't remember, one of our agents who's on the Curtain team, she picked up a lot of opportunities on Keep Please, and the Curtains were so impressed with her that they hired her for their team. So it's a great way to, as a new agent, to get exposure, as you said, practicing, learning, making a little extra cash, but also potentially, you know, networking with some of the bigger teams.
For sure.
Yeah.
I remember when you are doing a body one of the rent, when you are doing property, whose client is it always?
Great question.
The person who's selling their home.
Exactly.
Okay, just
Exactly.
wanna make sure, Also see something about this too, holidays. I don't know why, but I always am the one that will, does not do stuff on holidays. I used to like to do stuff when not everybody's going. But in years past, I've done incredible business on spring break, Thanksgiving, Christmas. Why? Everybody else is gone. If I had a buyer, it's like, okay, let's go buy a house while everybody's gone. Okay, because the person that's selling their home really doesn't want to sell it. Okay, so keep that in mind. Don't, you know, if you're here, don't leave dormant. Okay, take advantage of the time. All right. Okay. Moving on. Whoa, sorry. Okay. All right. Live webinars. So almost every single day for Command. If there's something you need to get brushed up on Command, just log on. It's 1 o'clock. You're not going to do everything all in 1 month, right? But whatever it is that you're interested in. And always remember, we have incredible Command talent packaged right here. Little bright little bow. And she's always available too if you get stuck on something. Okay, so log on to those, take advantage of them, and as well as the recording classes. Okay, upcoming events. We have tomorrow, right, Smart Plans with Agent Services. You want to talk a little plug on that?
So this is basically kind of like the follow-up to 201 Club. So if you guys were in 201 Club, this is the second part of it. So we're gonna be working with smart plans, kind of going through those, teaching you how to make your own smart plans and so on.
Taking
So
the
tomorrow.
next step, okay? So you have to take the first step, be there. If you have to take the second step, be there, all right? Negotiating the ATAC, Fiona's teaching that on Thursday. That's in person and Zoom. Okay, Career Day. I'm gonna talk a little bit of plug on Career Day. Does everybody know what Career Day is for?
Building your downline.
That's
Okay, why do you want to build your downline? Yes, oh my God, you're like a star student right now, you get like 2 A's. Okay, great. All right, so Career Day, okay, this is for somebody that you know that's interested in getting into real estate, they don't know anything about it. We do 2, I usually hold one at lunch, at a 12 o'clock and one at a 5 o'clock twice a month. But do not wait for that. If you have somebody that's either an agent in another office, or you want to share the KW story, if you don't feel comfortable, you just have to refer them to Robin or me. Or if they're not licensed to Career Day, but they don't necessarily have to go to Career Day. We sponsor, who knows what K4 is?
The online school, right? I mean,
Yes, that we, Keller Williams, sponsor so that they can go to school for free. They are not obligated to stay with us. But of course, once they're in our system, what are we going to do? Follow up. And then we also tag them, like the sheet here is awesome at referrals. we'll tag them as well as Merle, you've referred someone as well. You're to that person as soon as they come into our system, okay?
Leah, I want to say something. Guys, Joanne Curtin shared this, this step and I thought it was just simple and brilliant last week when she taught a class and she said at closing table, she would sit there with no plan whatsoever. And she just asked the other agent, why are you not with KW? And that's what she did. This is Joanne Curtin on me. And so she said, I never had a plan. There was nothing behind it. And of course I would get anything, right? Like, I don't care. Yes, I don't know who to. And all that she said, the follow up after that was like, I'll have somebody call you. And she turned that car into the team leader or the director of growth. And that person gets called. The other thing that I want you to be assured of, if you bring somebody into KW, they will respect your name, your sponsorship from Profit Share. So you bring somebody in, they do the work, they'll get them in and you get some money after that.
Another key point, want to know who the top 3 profit share earners are in this market center?
Bill Blankwell.
No, what a surprise. It's the curtain,
The Curtin team.
it's Joanne and Tom, you know, they're like 1, 2, and then Bill's number 3.
There you go.
So apparently her system worked. Okay, very good. Bill Linkwald.
Bill used to be the productivity coach before me.
Okay, so our office is closed on Friday, and then next week, and there is an update on the calendar. Book club is canceled this month, but we're gonna probably pick it up next month. And one thing that we want to say, if you do not, it is license law requirement that you have to complete this license law class. Everybody's got to complete it within, I believe, every year.
I think we need license law every 4 years.
Okay, if you do not have that, it's being taught on Monday with NALBA, so please do that. It is free. Okay, do not wait till last. Because I saw on our list, we have a lot that are missing this little class. Okay, so do it. Otherwise, you're gonna have to pay for it later with somebody else. Okay, awesome. So this is a new market. This is a class we wanted to share this with you. It is being taught on the such and such. Okay, on Wednesday, April 19th. Okay, this is Jeff Glover and Glover U. I don't know if you all know them. They're coaches. They're visiting dozens of cities across North America. They're bringing this class called 17 Ways to Win This Summer. It is only $39. It's learn the exact proven tactics and strategies that his team uses to close 75 listings every single month. How to generate regular referrals with new and improved database formulas using digital marketing and social media strategies. New buyer consultation value proposition to convince buyers to buy with you on new construction. How many times do you have somebody that's looking at new construction, they're asking you, why should I use you? Why don't I just walk into the sales office? Okay, because why do they need you? Let's hear it from the back, Crystal, go.
It's because the person sitting behind that desk is working for the builder. And so that home is being built to the builder's specs, and that builder building that home, maybe trying to cut corners because the more he cuts, the better he looks and the quicker he's promoted. So we definitely want your own representative.
Right, and the buyers obviously not paying you, the builder's paying that buyer's consultation. And also pricing and price reduction strategies, and it's $39. When we send it out, you just click that link and that class is available to you.
The 19th.
Pardon me?
When is it?
The 19th, Wednesday, April 19th, 9 to 12:30, and it's at the Sheraton Atlanta Hotel.
Yeah, and I want to say just one thing on that. Guys, when you go to classes, my invitation to you is to think, okay, this is great information. Does it align with my goals? Is this aligned with what I want to accomplish? Does my way of lead generation matches that? So then you take a few things here. It does not mean go in there and change your whole business plan, because then it's just counterintuitive, right? So just go take the good and leave the bad.
Got it. Okay, April birthday. Do we have any April birthdays in the room?
I think Tally.
Oh, all right, Gavin, we got Gavin. Okay, so we get to sing happy birthday to you. Oh, wait.
Oh, I'm not gonna sing. I will not
On
sing.
3, ready? 1, 2, 3, happy birthday, Gabby. 1, 2, 3. No spankers. Martina's coming up. Oh my God, we have a lot of Martina. Happy birthday to all of you. Wow, look at that. Okay. Not, okay, all right, now here's, this is awesome. This is anniversary. Anybody up here on the anniversary? I mean, this is what I notice on anniversary. You know how they always say that it's a huge percentage of agents will not here during the shift? You can see it right here. There's only there's only
wow.
3 that were there during the shift. Everybody else is newer. So that's pretty awesome. I mean, it's awesome that they're here, but anyways, it's pretty credible that it really is kind of true and indicative. Do we have anybody in here? Anybody here?
We have a veteran here. How many years, Merle?
With Keller,
Well, no, in real estate in general.
with Keller, 20.
Wow.
I said.
Started real estate in 86.
Okay, I can't even do that now. How many years is that? Like,
I don't know.
oh my God, okay. That's, yeah. Okay, I remember, I got my.
Books and about things.
Yeah.
And I was with Keller Williams. I started with Bucket Brokers, then that became Coldwell Banker. Then I went to Jenny Pruitt for a while. Then I came here and then I had a friend back at Coldwell Banker wanted me to come back, which I didn't like once I went back and I came back here.
We just say welcome home to you just a lot.
Yeah.
Don't ever go. Don't
Yeah,
ever. Nothing. Hiring.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, 201 Club. We want to talk about 201 Club since that you probably like have nightmares about it. A little vomiting.
My sleep.
I know. right?
Basically.
No, why?
Tina has a massive database.
201 Club basically means you have 201 plus contacts in your database because based on command studies that we've done, agents who have 201 contacts in their database, their command database specifically, typically make about $119,000 a year. So with 201 Club, what we've been doing is we've been having you guys come in, we've been adding all of your phone contacts into your command, making sure you get above that 200 marks. We've even added in our vendors and our alliance partners and all of that. So you have literally everybody's contact now, from your phone to leadership to vendors to alliance. So basically we're aiming to get you guys over that 200 mark. And now the next step is going to be smart plans and working in those smart plans and getting all those people on those smart plans so that, you know, you can get clients, referrals, because you're going to be top of mind because your name's going to be in their inbox. Okay, so we'll be doing that class tomorrow. Patrick Malden also just sent out an email about the next step into Roline yesterday, I believe. Don't remember the date off the top of my head, but I know he's going to be doing. Okay, okay, perfect. But he's going to be doing those very consistently, so you'll see those in your emails as well.
Yeah, thank you. Because it's not just 200 in the database, and if the smart plans are consistently communicating with them. Because what is that staggering? This is a staggering statistic. Over 80% of the people that will do a real estate transaction would have done it with the last person they did real estate well, if they could just know through the file.
Yes.
Right?
So that is top of mind, right?
Okay, right?
Top of mind.
Because it's whoever is with them, I think Gary Keller draws that,
Yeah.
that little slope, that little, whatever wavy thing. Whoever is nearest to them and to the proximity at the moment they're making that.
That's right.
That's why it has to be so consistent, okay? Because, yeah, it has to be consistent, right? As memorable as you think you are. Literally, been talking to this person 10 times a day, and you're like, it's like, of course they're never gonna forget me. They forget you.
Yeah.
I forget them. Okay, it's like, you know, how horrible is that? But nothing hurts more when you see somebody on social media or something, it's like, and they just bought a house and they go, oh my gosh, I forgot you did that. Right? But so don't get that sick feeling in your stomach, like literally vomiting.
All right.
Okay, so this is, we talked about, command, this is that, under command, going beyond 201. So don't think that that was the end, okay? Don't think 201 is the magical number. It's much, much more. If you look at that graph, you hit 1,000, you hit 2,000 contacts. Now the income incrementally goes to 200,000, 300,000 and beyond, okay? Go ahead.
Monzo.com makes GANs great again. Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to say again because they never were. And
hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Patrick Malden, your Director of Technology and Resources here in the award-winning Keller Williams Southeast region. You've heard about it, you've wanted to join, but maybe the 201 Plus Club was a little difficult for you to get into. And so we have got you covered. Now, what is the 201 Plus Club, you might be asking? Well, we have data to support that agents who put 201 plus or more contacts in command earn on average $119,510 in gross commission income. This is a great starting point for growing your database to be able to follow those 4 laws of lead generation, to grow that database, feed it every day, communicate with it in a systematic way, and to service all the leads that come your way. So let's get into how we do that. I want you to go to your Command app, which is this red app in the bottom right of my screen for KW Command. We're going to click into the Command app, and it's going to bring us up to the main screen. Now, Command app is your mobile version of Command. It is both on Android and iOS. Once inside here, you can click on the Contacts applet, which is a little person down here at the bottom. And then up here in the top right, you will see a new function that says Import. So we're going to click on that Import. Now, by clicking on this, what it's going to do is it's going to make a copy of contacts from your phone and put them into Command so that you can do things like setting them up on smart plans and follow-up plans to stay in touch with them over time. And so we are going to click Continue on Import. Now, you can then at this point select your entire set of phone contacts. Now, for this example, I'm just going to only select a couple of them, but for you, you're probably going to select more. So we would select the contacts that we're importing, and then in the top right, we have Continue. It's going to pop up and say Begin Import. This process cannot be undone. Are you sure you want to continue? I'm going to hit Continue, and it's going to give us this super satisfying vertical progress bar, and it's going to tell us, guess what? You're ready to thrive. And it's that easy, guys. If you've done your import, then you're in. Most people have at least 201 contacts on their phone from relationships they have built over the course of their life. Welcome to the 201 Plus Club. So now, this is when the actual work begins. Let's get them set up on smart plans. Let's make sure that we are being more human more often, and let's guide our clients and prospects through this always interesting world of real estate. Until next time, guys, stay connected, be joyful, and go live your greatness.
Following up to that, for those of you who have been into a One Club, there's like 5 different ways you can upload your contacts. Nicole, I'm talking to you. We just found out this method literally like 2-3 days ago, which was towards the end of the 201 stuff. So apologies if you guys had to go through it a different way, but this is brand new. It's literally just came out doing it from the app. So it'll make it a lot easier than having to go through the process that we've been going through for the past month. So just wanted to get that out there.
Great, thank you. Oh my gosh, I'm glad you're here. Okay. There we go. Okay, great. Market update. Okay, great, perfect. All right, so we're pretty much running consistently, right? You guys probably feel more than anything else what's happening, right? It is consistently the lack of inventory that we have, right? So, we're pretty, we're up to, our current active listings up to 1,000. Okay, which is good. This is really pretty much what we expect to see as we kind of go into the spring market. Pending listings are still holding about the same, and as well as closed, right? We had an uptick there. I expect because of the lag, because it was always gonna lag, right? The end of the month, end of the quarter on March 31st on Friday. So we're probably gonna see it coming into this first week because, unless you're a super aggressive agent and brought that in on Friday night, you probably did not. Okay, not that anybody in this room would do that. So anyway, I'm clicking and I was like, come on. Okay, so this was the one number that was kind of a shocker, right? Total active listings today, we're now into the 7,000, right? Last week we were at 8, we were at 9, so now we're kind of going down. We've got a lot of buyer activity. I know a lot of agents that shared on Monday, morning mastermind, how properties are the ones that are well priced, the ones that are marketed, and everybody's on their A game right now. Open houses, because I have never seen so many open houses before in my life, which is awesome because that's just bringing more energy and more opportunities for you to pick up those buyer listings. Yes.
I'm looking for that 1.8 number to drop, and it hasn't yet, because as you mentioned, we were in the 8,300 list total active listings, and every single week that number is continuing to drop. It's still hanging on to 1.8 months supply of inventory.
Right. It is. It's still is.
Hey, Leah, one thing that we have to notice, guys, whenever, especially for market and trends, you're gonna be looking for what the pattern is in numbers, what the, to identify exactly what's happening, what's the trend. So you can then watch for pattern disruption and then once that happens, pattern implementation. So this 7,756 number tells a story. So if we don't add any inventory to this number in about July, the market will stall even more. And I don't know if you guys and the people in my program know this, for the last 3 years, well, this will be the third year, 2021, 2022, from January till July, somewhat, we felt okay. We felt like the market was thriving, people were a little bit engaged. We had a little bit of a rough start because of the interest rates. But comes July, if we are not if you are not moving that needle forward for your production, the market could potentially repeat 2021 and 2022. And then we spend the second half of the year kind of really going uphill. So this to me is an invitation for us listing agents to bring more inventory to the market, right? That there are people in there really wanting to move. We just have to find them motivated, right? And the proof is when also for the buyers, these in terms of trends, there are 466 buyers that say yes to their agreement. So they're already past the shock of interest rates. They're willing to move forward. It is our time then to work with the sellers. You can see price reductions are 84. We've been seeing that almost doubling beyond 100% of the listings. So now we're seeing that there is a pattern that these listing agents and the sellers are getting with the program. So if you love listings, if you want to move your business forward, this is the time. So you really drive at Q2, Q3, and then kind of create a funnel for Q4. That would be my suggestion. Keep an eye on that as a way to tell a story to your people.
Right, very good, thanks. I love this market, it's fascinating. Has anybody been stumped with the market? It's fascinating. I mean, everywhere you go, right? When people find out you're in real estate, the first thing they ask is, oh my gosh, how's the market? I heard that, I heard the sky is falling, right? Do you feel like you all are equipped to answer the fact that it is not falling? Okay, it's not falling. We are, the market is what the market is, okay? We still have, yes, there are a reduced number of transactions, sure there is, but that's when we get called to action. What I'm really seeing out in the market right now are the agents that are not equipped to answer that, where they agree and go, oh my God, you're absolutely right, it's horrible. I haven't had a listing all quarter, and they just get sucked into that negativity, okay? So I'm gonna segue for just a second. We just finished Q1, right? For those of you who have just finished a full quarter, you guys created your plans, your 411s back in probably October, November. The market was a little different then, right? So now I hope you look at your numbers every month. If you're not, I want you to stop and take a look at how you ended this quarter. How did you end this quarter? Did you achieve the goals that you have? You now have an annual goal, right? 4 weeks, 1 month, 1 year. How are you tracking to hitting the 1 year? What adjustments do you make? Some people kind of go to that thinking like, ooh, I didn't hit my number. Do you adjust and just automatically roll over and give up on the annual number? I hope not, right? I hope you just go, okay, what am I going to do? What are the activities I'm going to do and change? What did I do this last quarter? In the Inman article, I shared with you, a lot of you guys Monday morning, top agents, they're sitting here, then first quarter's ended. Let's look at what we've done so far. And they're looking, what is their expenses that they need to adjust? All right. Are they, it's not to delete everything, right? But what expenses are serving you well? Okay. What expenses do you need to delete? What expenses do you need to eliminate, at least for a short term, revisit it later? What expenses do you need to get rid of altogether? What activity do you need to continue going forward that you're getting the right results from? Look at your income. So you've looked at your expenses. Now I want you to look at your income. Where are the sources of your income coming from? Are you getting them from referrals? Are you getting them from door knocking? Are you getting them from open houses? What are you getting success from? So you can make adjustments on that too, right? And this is also a time where it's, this is a time where the going gets tough. We're going to talk about this. We're leading right up to you, sir, on resilience. Okay. This is not the time to just, say, hey, the market's bad. So I'm going to excuse Q1 because that's just the way the market is. There's a transactions app happening out there. Approximately, we're expecting, is it 4 million? We're down from 6.1 to, so they're out there. It's just a matter of whether we're going to go get our unfair share of that. There are agents that will leave the marketplace. There are agents that will stop doing things, okay, because they're not getting the results. So are you going to be that agent that's going to do it? I hope not. Okay, because now's the time where we're going to ramp it up. Now's the time where I love this saying, champions do not do extraordinary things. Champions do simple things, but they do it extraordinarily well. You guys know what your superpower is. Each one of us has it. Just figure out what yours is and just do it to the highest level you possibly can. Whenever we go, like when we go to Mega Camp, they're sharing hundreds of different things agents are doing. It's not the expectation that we're going to do every one of them. You're going to do the 1, 2, or 3 things, but you're going to do it to the highest level where like you just own that. Whenever you see a mega agent that comes up here, do they do everything? No. They use, one person may excel at events, one might be social media, but figure out your thing. You don't know your thing yet. See Ann, she's a thing finder. Okay. Okay. So I just segued into that. Okay, this is because we're talking about grit and passion. Hip play.
Why should you use Miro? When you draw on a whiteboard, no one sees it. With Miro, you plan together in real.
When I was 27 years old, I left a very demanding job in management consulting for a job that was even more demanding, teaching. I went to teach 7th graders math in the New York City public schools. And like any teacher, I made quizzes and tests, I gave out homework assignments. When the work came back, I calculated grades. What struck me was that IQ was not the only difference between my best and my worst students. Some of my strongest performers did not have stratospheric IQ scores. Some of my smartest kids weren't doing so well. And that got me thinking. The kinds of things you need to learn in 7th grade math, sure, they're hard. Ratios, decimals, the area of a parallelogram. But these concepts are not impossible. And I was firmly convinced that every one of my students could learn the material if they worked hard and long enough. After several more years of teaching, I came to the conclusion that what we need in education is a much better understanding of students and learning from a motivational perspective, from a psychological perspective. In education, the one thing we know how to measure best is IQ. But what if doing well in school and in life depends on much more than your ability to learn quickly and easily. So I left the classroom and I went to graduate school to become a psychologist. I started studying kids and adults in all kinds of super challenging settings. And in every study, my question was, who is successful here and why? My research team and I went to West Point Military Academy. We tried to predict which cadets would stay in military training and which would drop out. We went to the National Spelling Bee and tried to predict which children would advance farthest in competition. We studied rookie teachers working in really tough neighborhoods, asking which teachers are still going to be here in teaching by the end of the school year. And of those, who will be the most effective at improving learning outcomes for their students? We partnered with private companies asking which of these salespeople is going to keep their jobs and who's going to earn the most money. In all those very different contexts, one characteristic emerged as a significant predictor of success. And it wasn't social intelligence, it wasn't good looks, physical health, and it wasn't IQ. It was grit. Grit is passion and perseverance for very long-term goals. Grit is having stamina. Grit is sticking with your future, day in, day out, not just for the week, not just for the month, but for years, and working really hard to make that future a reality. Grit is living life like it's a marathon, not a sprint. A few years ago, I started studying grit in the Chicago public schools. I asked thousands of high school juniors to take grit questionnaires, and then waited around more than a year to see who would graduate. Turns out that grittier kids were significantly more likely to graduate, even when I matched them on every characteristic I could measure, things like family income, standardized achievement test scores, even how safe kids felt when they were at school. So it's not just at West Point or the National Spelling Bee that grit matters, it's also in school, especially for kids at risk for dropping out. To me, the most shocking thing about grit is how little we know, how little science knows about building it. Every day, parents and teachers ask me, how do I build grit in kids? What do I do to teach kids a solid work ethic? How do I keep them motivated for the long run? The honest answer is, I don't know. What I do know is that talent doesn't make you gritty. Our data show very clearly that there are many talented individuals who simply do not follow through on their commitments. In fact, in our data, grit is usually unrelated or even inversely related to measures of talent. So far, the best idea I've heard about building grit in kids is something called growth mindset. This is an idea developed at Stanford University by Carol Dweck, and it is the belief that the ability to learn is not fixed, that it can change with your effort. Dr. Dweck has shown that when kids read and learn about the brain and how it changes and grows in response to challenge, they're much more likely to persevere when they fail because they don't believe that failure is a permanent condition. So growth mindset is a great idea for building grit, but we need more. And that's where I'm going to end my remarks, because that's where we are. That's the work that stands before us. We need to take our best ideas, our strongest intuitions, and we need to test them. We need to measure whether we've been successful, and we have to be willing to fail, to be wrong, to start over again with lessons learned. In other words, we need to be gritty about getting our kids grittier. Thank you.
Okay, well, I hope that, I know you guys aren't students, but I mean, does that, I mean, did you hear that in terms of in real estate? I mean, it is about it. I mean, it's gritty when the good times are good and when it's not so good, because grit makes the difference, okay? I'm gonna turn it over to Anne because we've got a special guest speaker.
Okay.
And then we'll come back. So,
All right, well, I'm excited. Jeremy, please come join us. Jeremy just joined our office. I love Jeremy's background, but I'm going to allow you to, I'm gonna let him do, give you his background. Thank you so much for the information. So I know you sent us that wonderful bio, and we're gonna talk about resilience. So tell him a little bit about what you did before, and then I'll interview you. How is that? Okay. I think you have about like 2 minutes. I'm kidding. Just.
I have a 5-minute story.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm gonna get into, I guess, a new format, a little
Yeah.
bit about my unique experience that I'm bringing into this market center. But I have a 5-minute story because we all love stories. And I think this story will help you to take these concepts of resilience with you into this next week. So that being said, the year was 1804. There was 2 eager treasure hunters. They were standing on the edge of a thick jungle. The mysterious man was facing them who had just offered them the prize of a lifetime, treasure beyond their wildest imagination. And they're facing this mysterious man, and he explained, the treasure is at the center of the jungle. Whoever makes it there first wins the prize. He gave them an option between 2 tools that they could use to get them to the treasure. One was a beautiful razor-sharp machete. The handle was even lined with jewels. The other one was a simple, unassuming compass. But it would be sure to always point towards its intended destination. The machete, on the other hand, would cut through any debris in its way. So without any more notice, one of our treasure hunters grabbed the machete and bolted into the jungle, carving a beeline directly to the center. The other treasure hunter, quiet confidence, picked up the compass and slowly embarked into the jungle. We fast forward several days. The treasure hunter with the machete is on a record pace, directly to the treasure until he hits a stone wall. But he's unswervingly optimistic. So he decides it's just a minor deviation. So he keeps chopping his way deeper and deeper into the jungle around the stone wall. Now compare that with our other treasure hunter who settled into a consistent rhythm. Whenever he would run into an obstacle, say a stone wall or anything in his way, he would pause, take the time to recalibrate based on the reading of the compass. He remained grateful and confident, knowing that his sense of direction was close to him. And one more snapshot of our other treasure hunter. At this point, it's several days later. He's lying on the ground, completely exhausted, having chopped down almost the entire jungle with his still razor-sharp machete and still as beautiful as ever. But he slowly gets back up, convinced he's going to make it to the treasure. And he just keeps hacking away at everything around him, anything in his way, just to be faster than his opponent. Well, he eventually cut down the entire jungle, but there was no treasure in sight. And here's why, because if we go back to the other treasure hunter, he was in this consistent rhythm, enjoying the journey, having that sense of direction with him. And he eventually came into a clearing and beheld the most beautiful treasure he had ever imagined. He looked around and, celebrating that moment, he kissed the compass, and the mysterious man was there to deem him the winner. Now, here's the most important part of the story. Generations later, the gold had been spent, but the treasure remained intact. Because from the moment our wise treasure hunter had picked up the compass, he was holding the treasure in his hand, the real treasure. Because the gift of direction and focus was a treasure beyond value. I want to also compare that with our other tool in the story, the machete. Generations later, that family line was still trying to get the latest hack, the latest fancy trick, the latest trend, and just trying to use it to chop their way at every activity that was in their way, just try to beat the competition aimlessly. Now, I know this hits really home for us and for me already being new to this market center, because there's so many fancy tools. I'm already tempted by it to pick them up and just start hacking away, But thanks to Anne, I spent 2 hours with her and she put the compass down in front of me. These are the models, those few models that Gary Keller's developed and the strategies here. And said, here's your compass. Now pick it up and use it. And already a phrase I've heard her say a few times is, this works 100% of the time if you do. And this has hit home for me. So these are things I'm thinking about. So the challenge is, are you going to wield that priceless treasure when you walk out of this room? Staying focused. I believe another word you could use for that compass is resilience. Because when you hit an obstacle, like a market shift, or even on a weekly basis, you take time to recalibrate based on the values that your goals are tied to, and you keep moving forward one step at a time in that focused direction. So that's the story.
Well, now you may want to ask, thank you there. Who is this guy, right? I did a really poor job of like introducing him, but Jeremy just joined the Market Center. He's done a lot of important things that I'd love for you to share. But one of the things to me it's dear to my heart is that he spent 8 years in the United States Air Force. And yes, thank you for your service. And he trained, tell him a little bit about what your job was about training and why, you know, it was so exciting for Lee and for us for me to bring you here to talk about resilience, right? Or becoming resilient, because don't we need to be resilient every day? Every day, or like sometimes hour to hour, right? Because we suffer rejection in life. So when I think about the armed forces in whichever, right, or people like the fire department, to me, they're, you know, the same group of people. How does the Army or like the Air Force would train people to really have that core value within? Because to me, guys, I don't know about you, but if you are willing to give your life for your nation, I would take you seriously, right? Yeah. So please tell us a little bit about, you were an instructor, right? Tell them a little bit about the background in there and what did you teach them and what do you find it's, you know, a few things that they can take away today, and when, you know, when the going gets tough, they can implement it and get back up.
Absolutely. Yeah. So just to start with the background on myself, I spent 8 years as an airborne cryptologic linguist. And so we're a very strategic niche that assisted a lot of the different areas of all the branches, special forces, fighter pilots, different groups like that we were constantly kind of rubbing shoulders with. So I sat in a room at one point and listened to a master resilience trainer. This was someone who facilitated powerful seminar style talks to tell stories, but also facilitate conversation that drove concept of resilience to where really, you know, you internalized it and then used it in sometimes very dangerous situations. And I thought, I want to be that guy up there. I want to be doing that. That's so powerful. So I worked my way up to that position. And 2 years later, I was that guy that was going around to all different bases and units with special forces, fighter pilots, the intelligence community, which I found myself in, and even the border patrol as well, that came as special guests. And to give a couple tools specifically that we would empower these groups with. The first one, I alluded to it in the story, was values-based goals. So we have goals, we have our 411s, but what values are those tied to? To use one of Gary Keller's, just be better every day. Being the best that he can be every day, he would say, is one of his deepest values on a daily basis. So are your goals tied into those? But I would even take it one step deeper. Say, what are those values tied into the bedrock? Your core beliefs and what drives you to make others better. Maybe it's faith-based, these bedrock values. So what are your goals ultimately anchored and tied into? That's going to be what helps dig your feet in the ground when you get something unexpected, you hit a wall. That's going to empower you to crush and break through those walls of obstacles because of your mindset. I'm even learning from Gary Keller's book about a lot of these same concepts that we trained in the military. So he's already one step ahead of things. The second thing would be something developed by Viktor Frankl, who developed this in concentration camp, his book, Man's Search for Meaning. And this is his quote: between stimulus and response, there's a choice. So when we get cut off in traffic, as the example we use a lot of times, your response isn't just determined by that event. And the proof is because someone who's really optimistic and excited, they're not going to let that get them down. They'll have one response. But someone who's overwhelmed and stressed out, that's going to ruin their whole day. The response is different. That proves that there was a choice that happened in the middle there. It's A, B, C. It's 3 steps. It's not just from the event to what we respond with. And a lot of times they use the word reacting as kind of more of a negative response, but a response, kind of like it's in your control, how you respond to the smallest things, to even very big things, curveballs that get thrown at you. How are you going to choose to respond? Because the power is up here in your mind. So that's a specific tool that we would equip them with in the heat of the moment, the heat of battle. What is your choice? What's your response to something unexpected? It's A, B, C. Remember that B, that middle part, and you will be equipped, even walking out of this room, to make a choice no matter what's thrown at you. So those are 2 of about 10 of the different tools that we would use and equip these different people with. I personally was very impacted by this time, learning about resilience. A lot of it's based on psychology. I'm very passionate about that topic. A lot of great books out there. Angela Duckworth's book, Grit, such a great book if you haven't read it yet. And grittiness is, you could say, a synonym for resilience as well. But grittiness, having the ability to keep moving forward one step at a time, like that wise treasure hunter. And what are you referencing? What models, what values are you using, like the compass? And my sister got me one hearing about this story that I was sharing. So what's your compass? I encourage you to use Gary Keller's models as one of your compasses. And the last thing I'll say is a perfect example, I think, of a lot of these as a real estate agent is Roxy Hernandez.
That's right.
She worked with me and my wife for 2 years in the crazy market that we went through recently, got us into our dream home. She never gave up. She always empowered these ideals that I'm alluding to. She's kind of a great example to me of this, and not knowing about how much this symbol resonates with me and not having heard the story, she texted me recently after I started here and said, just remember to live by the compass and not the clock.
Wow.
I don't know her. She just sent me that. I thought, wow, hit me so hard. Compass and not the clock. Always have something deeper that is driving you each day, as opposed to just getting caught up in all the noise and distraction and even fancy tools that are so promising to us.
Thank you, Jared. Great future ahead of you, and we're just delighted to have you. So I know you'll have to go back to work. His dual career, and he is like doing this. And by the way, I asked him a question. I said, Jeremy, how many books are you reading? He said, oh, a month, right? Pride of Virginia. Oh, about 4 to 5. What? A month. A month.
Right now, I'm reading a book called The 80-20 Principle. That's one of the ones on my list. I just finished one called Go Give the Go Giver.
Oh, yes, that's the
One of my new favorite books.
Yes, that's
I just finished that one this past weekend. So those are kind of 2 that come to mind. But I want to be a go-giver in this market center. I really want to very freely give away these ideals of resilience, these different things that I learned in the military. I want to bring them into this market center, share them with my peers, because a rising tide raises all boats.
Heard that before.
I want to live that way, abundance mindset with my peers and my clients. That's my goal. And I do want to transition out of dual career and go fully into real estate. So I'm excited to be a part of this market center with all stars like I'm talking to you right now.
Thank you, Jared.
Thank you so much.
I have a question. What exactly is an airborne?
Great question. It's a great question. Yeah, so we use a lot of, we get trained up for 2 years on a lot of technology that I can't talk about here, but we plug into special forces, kind of what their plans are, and we act as advisors on the side. So part of that was learning a different language. So I learned Persian Farsi and really built an expertise in that. And essentially we act as advisors on the side. And we just plug and play, plug into a lot of these other different operations happening and just assist, as needed.
So you speak Farsi fluently?
Ballet.
Oh my.
Do you speak Farsi? Yes, Los Angeles, that makes sense. Yeah, definitely send them my way. Be happy to talk to them.
Thank you.
Great question. Thank you all. Have a great day. I have a quote from Gary Keller I can end with, actually. I brought this.
Go ahead.
This is from the millionaire real estate investor. This is what Gary Keller said. I think it fits really good with this. The millionaire real estate agent does not see consequences in terms of positives or negatives. If something has an outcome, whether it has a positive or negative result, they call it progress.
Wow, fantastic.
Like family.
I know, we're gonna stare. I appreciate it. All right.
So, oh, okay, wait, great, good. This is your inspiration for the week, but then we're gonna have like a little exercise because I think, I mean, I always find it valuable and I think you will too. We talked about looking at what we've done first quarter, right? Or those of you new, you guys are new, wherever your starting point is, everybody's got a starting point. And now I'm hoping that we kind of stir something up and you start thinking about what it is that you're going to do different. And this notion of resilience and how resilience is showing up in your life today, okay, in our business. Because we've been doing it for a long time. And I'll tell you that test of resilience is all the time, right? I'm looking around at my oldies and goodies, right? I'm not saying that y'all are old, it's just that we have seasons, right? To stay in there and hang in there, especially with our clients, when the clients want to give up. Are we not hearing that now? We're hearing a buyer, and I feel their pain, they want to give up. So if we can't get them to get a little bit grittier, we got to get grittier too. So we wanted to kind of maybe split up in like groups of like 3 or
There's some
4.
prizes involved, so get excited about this.
Excited. Sure, share in the groups, just kind of like where you see resilience in your life and how it's showing up for you. Grit, as well as, okay, here I am going from Q1 to Q2. What's it look like? What aha moments did that have for you? Like, I got to do something a little differently.
That's
You
right.
cannot get new outcomes with the same activities, right?
So I'm gonna be part of your group.
Okay,
Let's get
right?
some groups and talk about
Okay.
resilience.
You guys are. Huh? It's like,
Hey, Alexia, people on Zoom are wondering if you guys are done or still going.
Yeah.
But I. All right. We're not gonna do worse.
we have? Who wants to share?
Anybody want to share some big ahas? Like, we'll have two ahas. One's like a- Might make, what are you gonna tweak? What was the aha moment from looking back at Q1 and forward into Q2?
Okay.
Anybody want to share?
Oh, come on.
Come on, Candace.
What Jeremy was saying is that resilience is something that can be taught, which is not necessarily something that I refer to. I always thought resilience comes as a result of being knocked down, picking yourself up and doing it again. So when I look back at quarter one, I was at my former brokerage, and it felt like in a lot of ways of being knocked down. So we can teach ourselves to be resilient in
I like it.
Yeah, I shared this group in this book, Winning, okay? And, it's a segue, I mean, that was a good segue. Confidence is a feeling of growth you've ever felt in your life, and knowing you'll recover stronger than you were before. Molly Fletcher, at the annual meeting, she said, what was it? That
The people that succeed are the ones that recover from adversity fast. And she represented the top sports, player, like the baseball player, multi-million-dollar people. And she said that overall across the board, she could see the success. It wasn't about the injuries. It wasn't about the challenges. It's like you face something, you recover fast. Those were the successful people.
Yeah, for sure. Confident people don't live in the past. They remember what happened, but they don't let it affect their ability to move forward. They understand that losing is inevitable and they recover as quickly as possible to get rid of the sting.
Oh.
Go, right? Confidence gives you the grit to stand in the shadow of those more powerful than you and still retain your power. Confidence is your ticket to freedom, your escape route from everything that's holding you back. It's like a limiting belief that we have sometimes, right? And that there's another book, it's called The Gap in the Game, is always, if your starting point is here, and this is your goal, and somewhere you ended in the middle somewhere, we always focus on the fact that we miss, that this is the gap. We always focus on the gap. I'm a gap focuser, and I hate that about myself sometimes. But really, if you focus on the gain, because you work from here and you got to here, celebrate that gain. Remember, we talked about trying to find the celebration in something. Always celebrate the gain. If your goal is 20 calls a day and you made 15 today, but you made 5 yesterday, hey, you got 10 more. Just don't slide backwards, right? Just try to slide backwards. And Candace, to your point, that whole resilience thing, he said, it was so simple. When he said it, I go, oh my gosh, he just said it. It's simply a choice. We all have a choice on how we're gonna react. We all have a choice on how we're gonna move forward. Okay, so awesome, thank you.
Okay, in Oprah style, there are 3
Oh, yeah.
Starbucks cards in one of those chairs, so check around you. I say them.
We were doing a talk show and she wanted to. Okay, so now.
Yeah, there are 3. There are 3 the whole room. Yeah. Yeah.
Are you liking it?
Check it out. There are 3. There are 3 in the whole room. Yes, exactly. There are 2 more. 2 more. I know. All right, you guys are. I had it going on. I got.
So anything else?
No, I think.
Okay, and we will see you on. Thanks for coming, thanks for staying.
Yeah, okay, good deal.